The title of the show is DI Diva and the Mad Machines, and I experienced every one of these machines when I was a child. My purpose in exhibiting this work is to tell my story and to let the public know what's going on. My intention is to create artworks that people can react to, and then to leave them the choice as to whether they'd like to read the information sheet that I provide with each piece. Some people don't want to know what my work is about. Some people just would rather react to it as artwork, and that's perfectly legitimate. But I would warn those people to turn off the video. Each of the 4 sculptures represents a medical device or procedure that was co-opted for use as an implement of torture. This piece is called Dr. Riker's Box. The sculpture is fairly directly representational of what Dr. Riker's Box was. It was a small device that fit into the mouth. It was used to inflict pain via electric shock. This piece is called Dr. Wada's Method. Dr. Wada was a real doctor, a Japanese American, who was active around and after World War II. He invented a procedure whereby he could anesthetize one half of the brain, and as a result the corresponding and opposite half of the body was also anesthetized. He came up with this method to test for hemispheric dominance in people with epilepsy. So that's the beneficial use of the Wada method. But the people who conditioned and tortured me used the method to train me, or certain aspects of my personality or alters, to be isolated to one side of the brain, one hemisphere or the other. The sensory deprivation tank was invented by Dr. John Lilly. So this piece is called Dr. Lilly's Tank. This sculpture is meant to express my experience of being inside the tank and visually experiencing almost absolute black. It's soft and rounded, and it's also meant to portray a sense of floating and disconnectedness. So they'd place me in the tank with monitoring equipment on my head, and they'd leave me in there for a while and let my body start adjusting to that environment. And they'd watch the monitoring. And the purpose was to make sure that I did not access or I did not employ aspects of myself that were being rebellious. So they watched through their monitoring equipment, and if these aspects of myself became active, they would shock me. So I went from being in a sensorially deprived state to being painfully overstimulated. It was unbearable, and I did learn to associate the pain in a Pavlovian way with having those rebellious aspects of my personality active. This piece is called Dr. Shirmer's Playpen. And Dr. Shirmer does not refer to me, it refers to my father. But in my promotional material for this show, I put a star next to his name saying, not a real doctor, which he wasn't. But he was involved in this torture and conditioning activity, both at home and in the labs. These are drawings of hands, and that's copper electrical wire. And the rest of the piece is made out of galvanized steel and fence parts. It's an expression of some of the earliest experiences I went through, age 4, 5, and 6, when the primary work was being done on me, including training various aspects of me to perform sexually. Here I have a green light shining on this sculpture, and I've had a different colored light shining on each of the other sculptures as well. A lot of the early conditioning sessions were associated with various colors, and this helped with organizing altars and the altar system, giving young children an easy way to manage and identify which aspects of themselves were being trained and how.
Yes.